The tale of Robin Hood, the heroic outlaw who robbed from the rich to give to the poor, has been a captivating narrative for centuries. The verdant expanses of Sherwood Forest, the loyalty of his band of merry men, and his unyielding defiance against the oppressive sheriff of Nottingham are images ingrained in the collective consciousness. Throughout the ages, this legendary figure has been the centerpiece of countless ballads, stories, and films, each rendition embellishing the lore, painting Robin Hood as a symbol of justice in the face of tyranny. The enduring allure of Robin Hood is not merely confined to the realm of fiction. Over time, the boundary between the legend and historical reality has become blurred. Was there a real Robin Hood who inspired these tales? Or is he a concoction of imaginative storytelling, nurtured by the human love for a rebel hero? The thick veil of time shrouds the truth, making it a tantalizing puzzle for historians, storytellers, and anyone entranced by the romanticism of the past. This narrative has transcended the borders of its English origins, morphing into a global symbol of resistance against unjust authority. Yet, the question remains, did Robin Hood, the gallant archer in Lincoln Green, ever exist, or is he a mythic figure birthed in the annals of English folklore? The quest for the real Robin Hood involves a journey through the meandering paths of history, a scrutiny of ancient texts, and an exploration into the socio-political climate of medieval England. The objective of this article is to delve into the heart of this enigmatic legend, to sift through the sands of history for traces of the real Robin Hood. We will traverse the realms of historical documentation, literary evolution, and cultural significance to attempt to discern the man from the myth, the reality from the romance. In doing so, we aim to not only uncover the roots of the Robin Hood legend but also to understand why this story continues to resonate through the ages, its essence undimmed by the passage of time. The legend of Robin Hood doesn't emerge from a vacuum, it is deeply rooted in the soil of medieval England, a period rife with social unrest, economic disparity, and political tyranny. The tale of an outlaw championing the cause of the downtrodden against a corrupt establishment resonated profoundly with the populace, both then and now. But to discern the real man behind the myth, if there indeed was one, requires a meticulous examination of historical records, social milieu, and early references to Robin Hood in literature and folklore. Early references, the first whispers of a rogue named Robin Hood surface in medieval ballads and folklore. The oldest surviving ballads, such as Robin Hood and the Monk and Robin Hood and the Potter, date back to the 15th century, although it's believed that the legend was alive in oral tradition long before these written records. These ballads depict Robin Hood as a yeoman, not an aristocrat, an adept archer, and a righteous outlaw, dwelling in Sherwood Forest with his band of followers. Potential historical figures. Historians have often speculated about the real individuals who might have inspired the Robin Hood legend. Some theories point to Robert Hood of Wakefield, who lived during the early 14th century, as a possible candidate. Others suggest the legend could be an amalgam of various outlaw figures from medieval England, each contributing a thread to the rich tapestry of the Robin Hood narrative. Socio-political climate. The socio-political climate of medieval England provides a fertile ground for the germination of the Robin Hood legend. The period witnessed stark economic disparities, oppressive taxation, and a rigid feudal system that often left the common folk impoverished and oppressed. The image of a rebel hero who stood against the oppressive forces of the establishment would have been a comforting and inspiring figure for the masses. Geographical associations. Sherwood Forest in Nottinghamshire and Barnsdale Forest in Yorkshire are often cited as the stomping grounds of Robin Hood. The association of Robin Hood with real geographical locations lends a layer of authenticity to the legend, even as it blurs the line between historical fact and folklore. Robin Hood's social standing. The depiction of Robin Hood's social standing also underwent a transformation over time. Initially depicted as a yeoman, later tales elevate him to the status of a dispossessed aristocrat, perhaps reflecting the changing social dynamics and aspirations of the populace. The quest for the historical Robin Hood is akin to chasing shadows through the dense foliage of Sherwood Forest. Each clue unearthed, each ancient ballad scrutinized, and each historical document examined, adds a layer to the enigmatic figure that is Robin Hood. The challenge lies in discerning the threads of historical reality from the colorful fabric of legend and romanticism that has been woven over centuries. The narrative of Robin Hood has found a fertile ground in the landscape of literature, where it has germinated, evolved, and blossomed over centuries. From the earliest ballads to modern novels, the character of Robin Hood has been shaped and reshaped, reflecting the zeitgeist of different eras, yet maintaining the core essence of a rebel hero championing justice. Early ballads and tales. Robin Hood's literary journey begins with the medieval ballads, which are the earliest recorded narratives about the outlaw hero. These ballads, often sung or recited in the halls and taverns of Old England, painted Robin Hood as a yeoman, an archer of extraordinary skill, living outside the law in the greenwood. Over time, these narratives coalesced into a more structured legend, embedding Robin Hood in a specific historical and geographical context, primarily Sherwood Forest and the reign of King Richard the Lionheart. Transition to print. The transition from oral to printed tradition in the 16th century significantly broadened Robin Hood's literary horizon. Books such as A Jest of Robin Hood compiled earlier tales, while new stories emerged, expanding the legend, introducing now familiar characters like Maid Marian and Friar Tuck. This period saw Robin Hood transform from a yeoman to a dispossessed aristocrat, reflecting perhaps a romanticizing trend in the literature of the era. Romantic and Victorian eras. The Romantic and Victorian eras saw a flourishing of the Robin Hood legend in literature, reflecting the period's fascination with medievalism and heroic tales. Writers like Sir Walter Scott in Ivanhoe further romanticized Robin Hood as a noble outlaw, aligning with the era's idealized vision of the past. 20th century to present. In the 20th century and beyond, Robin Hood continued to be a compelling subject for writers. The character has been reinterpreted in myriad ways, reflecting contemporary social and political concerns. The legend has also been explored through various genres including historical fiction, fantasy, and even science fiction. Robin Hood's evolution. Across these literary transformations, the essence of Robin Hood as a symbol of justice and a champion of the oppressed remains intact, even as the details of his narrative adapt to the sensibilities of each era. His transition from a common yeoman to a noble outlaw reflects changing societal attitudes, while his enduring struggle against injustice resonates across the ages. Literary impact. The literary journey of Robin Hood is not merely a tale of an enduring legend, but a reflection of the evolving human narrative. It illustrates how stories adapt over time, reflecting, and sometimes shaping, societal values and norms. Archaeological and historical evidence. The quest to unravel the real Robin Hood extends beyond the realm of literature into the concrete domain of archaeological and historical evidence. Over the years, enthusiasts, historians, and archaeologists have sought to unearth physical proof or historical records that might shed light on the existence of Robin Hood or at least, on individuals who might have inspired the legend. Early records. One of the key challenges in tracing the historical Robin Hood is the scarcity of contemporary records. However, there are a few mentions in medieval legal records and chronicles that hint at individuals named Robin Hood or similar, often labeled as outlaws or fugitives. The exact identity of these individuals and their connection to the legend remains shrouded in mystery. Archaeological excavations. There have been numerous archaeological excavations in places associated with Robin Hood, like Sherwood Forest and Nottingham Castle. While these excavations have unearthed artifacts from the medieval period, none have provided definitive evidence linking to Robin Hood or his band of merry men. Place names and geographic associations. Several locations in England bear the name of Robin Hood, like Robin Hood's Bay, Robin Hood's Well, and others. These place names, often associated with tales of the outlaw, provide a geographic dimension to the legend, although they don't offer conclusive evidence regarding his existence. Historical analysis. Historical analysis of the socio-political conditions of medieval England provides a context in which a figure like Robin Hood could have emerged. The era, marked by social unrest, economic disparity, and a corrupt ruling class, provides a fertile ground for the sprouting of outlaw legends. Documented outlaws. historical records document several outlaws who defied the authorities during the medieval period. Some of these figures, like Adam Bell, William of Cloudesley, and Fulk Fitzwarren, have stories somewhat reminiscent of the Robin Hood legend, leading to speculations on whether they might have inspired the tale. Folklore versus fact. The interplay between folklore and historical fact is a complex dance. Over time, real individuals and events often become embroidered with myth, eventually forming a tapestry of legend indistinguishable from fact. The Robin Hood legend could well be an amalgam of real outlaw stories blended with fictional embellishments. Robin Hood's legacy. The legacy of Robin Hood stretches far beyond the borders of medieval England, infiltrating the global cultural narrative and becoming a symbol of justice, resistance against oppression, and altruistic heroism. His iconic Lincoln green attire, skillful archery, and camaraderie with the merry men have become symbols of heroic defiance against unjust authority. Enduring appeal. Robin Hood's appeal lies in his timeless fight against injustice. His narrative has been a source of inspiration for countless individuals and movements advocating for social justice and equality. The simplicity yet profundity of his motto, robbing the rich to help the poor, resonates with many, especially in times of economic disparity and social unrest. Modern renditions. The tale of Robin Hood has been retold in numerous forms over the centuries. Modern renditions in literature, film, and television have often adapted the legend to reflect contemporary social and political themes. From Errol Flynn's charismatic portrayal in the 1938 film to the gritty 2010 version starring Russell Crowe, Robin Hood continues to be a relevant and compelling figure in modern storytelling. Influence on popular culture. The Robin Hood archetype has permeated popular culture, inspiring a multitude of characters and narratives across different media. His story has been the blueprint for many fictional rebels and vigilantes who fight against corruption and injustice, showcasing the lasting impact of the Robin Hood legend on storytelling. Educational usage. Robin Hood's legend is also utilized in educational settings as a means to explore themes of justice, social inequality, and historical interpretation. His story serves as a gateway to engage with broader socio-political discussions, making history and literature more accessible and engaging for learners. Commemorative places and events. Various locations associated with the Robin Hood legend, such as Sherwood Forest and Nottingham, have become sites of cultural and historical commemoration. Annual festivals, re-enactments, and tours continue to celebrate the legend of Robin Hood, drawing enthusiasts from around the globe. Impact on social movements. Several social movements have adopted Robin Hood as a symbolic figure, resonating with his fight for justice and equality. His narrative has been invoked in various campaigns advocating for wealth redistribution, social justice, and opposition to tyranny. The legend of Robin Hood, with its potent mix of adventure, justice, and defiance against oppression, continues to captivate the imagination of people worldwide. The journey to unravel the real Robin Hood traverses through the dense foliage of history, the shifting sands of literary evolution, and the elusive realm of archaeological evidence. Despite the inconclusive proof of his historical existence, the ethos of Robin Hood remains a vibrant part of our cultural tapestry. The examination of Robin Hood's legend offers more than just an inquiry into the existence of a medieval outlaw. It provides a lens through which we can explore the evolving narrative of heroism, justice, and resistance against tyranny. It encapsulates the enduring human need for heroes who stand against oppression, and the power of storytelling in fulfilling this need. As we sift through the pages of history, the verses of ancient ballads, and the scenes of modern renditions, the legend of Robin Hood emerges as a timeless narrative. It challenges us to question the boundaries between legend and history, between heroism and lawlessness, and between folklore and reality. The enduring allure of Robin Hood, whether a historical figure or a creation of collective imagination, underscores the profound impact of storytelling on the human psyche and the unyielding quest for justice that continues to shape our societal narratives. Whether cloaked in the garb of a yeoman or a noble, whether dwelling in the verdant expanses of Sherwood Forest or in the annals of literature, Robin Hood remains an indelible symbol of heroism and justice. His legend invites us to continue exploring the complex interplay between history, folklore, and the enduring human spirit that champions the cause of justice and equality. And as long as the ideals of justice, equality, and resistance against oppression continue to resonate, the legend of Robin Hood will continue to inspire, entertain, and challenge us.